handcuff. You allow your opponent to go from a one-punch guy to a six-punch guy. You allow him to become a combination puncher. He knows you are wearing the bracelets. He knows you have the earmuffs on.
A reaching pawing punch by Sanders. And that's being ruled a knockdown. Remember, there is a standing 8 count in West Virginia.
Not a bad spot to use it there by the referee.
Hey, now fighting back, big guy. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Here's a standing 8 count, and he uses it. Final seconds of the...
Oh, down goes Sanders! And that's the punch that will make him a prospect. That right hand on the chin.
Cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Sanders gets up.
The bell is rung. I don't know if the ref heard it. He's looking at him. He's looking at him. He's stopping it.
Stops the fight. He gave it a good look. Davarryl Williamson got rocked in round 3 with a left hand, and he dug in against 313-pound Corey Sanders. Referee Dave Johnson gave a standing 8 count, checked out Sanders, and then Sanders got clocked by the 34-year-old Williamson. The referee Dave Johnson allowed the bell to ring, but he wanted to make sure that Sanders could go on. Called it off. Williamson, 17-1, 16 stoppage.
No substitute for that God-given talent, that God-given ability, power. And Williamson has it. And more importantly, Williamson has passed the test. Williamson, in my estimation, tonight has shown me that he can be considered a real prospect. He passed the test of heart. He was in a crisis. He overcame it. He earned the win tonight.
34-year-old Davarryl Williamson against that man, Corey Sanders. Williamson landed 105 of 241 punches. Sanders 60 of 207. A barrage of punches with Sanders on the ropes. Then Sanders moved away from the ropes, and a wild right hand set Williamson up again. And a barrage of punches came against the ropes, and that's where the standing 8 count happened. And we're going to take a look. And a right hand looked like it bounced off the shoulder, Teddy, and then went right into the temple of Sanders.
Around the ear, and as you said, the temple area, right behind the ear. Very, very difficult spot to get hit. Throws your equilibrium off, destroys your legs.
Now remember,
right there, good shot, and a blind shot. The left hand was coming from Sanders. We talked about in Atlas World, don't fall in with that left hand. Fell in with a little bit, tilted forward. I don't believe he ever saw that first right hand. He blinded himself as he threw the left hand and never saw the right hand coming.
And remember, about 15 seconds before that, the referee Dave Johnson had stepped in with a standing 8 count, which is allowed under West Virginia rules after Williamson just was throwing punch after punch against Sanders, who was languishing against the ropes. Dave Johnson did a good job right there because he used the standing 8 count. You know, you got to remember what state you're in, and Johnson remembered that he had that here in West Virginia. And then Sanders got clocked, got knocked down, and then they waited it out. And Sanders was staggering around, and he gets stopped for the 3rd time in his career. And Davarryl Williamson, 17-1, 16 knockouts. Impressive effort. He got rocked, but he bounced right back, giving away 102 pounds. Here's Brian and Max.
Very impressive, Max. He had a lot of reasons to go away quietly there. You know, he got staggered a bunch of times, knocked up against the ropes, and again, giving away a ton of weight.
During the pre-fight interviews, you had to feel good about both guys. They're both likable guys, and you got to feel bad for Sanders right now. But Williamson, he's taking risks here fighting, giving away 100 pounds, and it's not as if he's going in against a soft big guy. You're talking about Corey Sanders, a guy who went the distance with Galata in a tough fight, went the distance with Terrence Lewis, a very big puncher, beat Terrence Lewis, recently knocked out Moskaev in a fight he was losing, taking some big shots from Moskaev. This is a big, tough guy that Williamson just knocked out, not a pushover. A tremendous win for him, especially on the heels of the Dale Crow fight, another rugged guy he stopped.
And I think they made a very good point, too, because at the time it happened, I'm thinking, all right, give him the benefit of the doubt. The round is over. Send him back there. However, when a referee says properly, take a step toward me, if he doesn't do do that with authority, you know what? You call it off. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, even though it was in between rounds, maybe Sanders could have recovered. I agree, it was the right call. You always like to see a referee err on the side of caution, and if there was any kind of quick trigger here, that's a good thing to see. He's really protecting Sanders, who's a very marketable guy who we'd love to see, who people love to see on TV. A big, strong guy, usually goes rounds, makes exciting fights.
All right, again, we're here on Friday Night Fights, and the main event just concluding in a knockout fashion. We'll get back out in the ring in just a moment. Programming note first. There, as it was throughout most of the fight, Corey Sanders seemed to be dominating. Looked like he was going to knock Williamson out at some point. Let's go back to the ring right now with Bob Papa and Teddy Atlas, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Brian and Max. You get a look at the action here in round number 5. Right hand right to the ear of Corey Sanders. That was after the referee had given Sanders a standing 8 count, which is allowed under West Virginia rules. You get a look at it one more time. Touch of sleep. And that's what Corey Sanders got from Davarryl Williamson, the 34-year-old born in Washington, D.C., and now fighting out of Denver, Colorado. And Davarryl, first of all, congratulations on a good performance.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad that they chose me, Lou DiBella, and all the parties involved chose me to be the main event tonight.
All right, you took this fight on short notice. You were dominating round number 3, and then you got caught at the end of that round. What happened?
You know, we practiced the whole camp. And not the whole camp, well, as soon as we knew it was Corey Sanders, we practiced for the last 10 days on not pulling straight back with my hands down. And that's one of my weaknesses. So, obviously, you know, we got caught with our hands down and moving straight back, and I got caught with a left hook going to the end of the round.
Teddy?
That is one of your weaknesses, and you almost paid for tonight. But one of your strengths tonight turned out to be this. That had never been tested before. We know you have great power here, but tonight your character was tested, and it came through.
Thank you very much, Teddy.
And it's great to be able to have this little power. Isn't it a nice thing?
Yes, it's a wonderful thing because it gets me out of trouble. It gets me out of trouble. And also,
don't depend on it all the time.
I will not. I promise I will do a better job next time.
Now, Davarryl, I've known you since 1995 in the amateur game, and we've worked a lot of fights together. What's next for you? Obviously, at 34 years of age, you're very young in the pro game, but obviously the clock is ticking. So what is the schedule for Davarryl Williamson coming up next?
Well, I'm just eager to move along. My matchmaker, Eric Botcher from Cedric Christian, he's doing a fantastic job because he is keeping me busy. And he believed in me enough to put me into this fight with a guy with so much experience and so much weight on his favor. I have no idea. I'm hoping that HBO will have me Showtime, TV KO, some sort of co-main event. I'm just saying, please give me a chance. You know, I won't let you down.
Hey, we'll be happy to have you here on ESPN.
You know, well, one more time. You know, I want to be nothing less than the main event. For some reason, something sweet is in my mouth. A sweet taste of being the main event is in my mouth. I know exactly when I'm fighting and when to get prepared for it. So I want main event ESPN. Will you guys have me back?
All right. Well, we'd be more than happy to have you back. You're a classy guy as well. Davarryl Williamson comes up with the victory tonight as he stops Corey Sanders with a right hand in round number 5. Williamson gets knockout number 16 on his young and promising career. Here's Brian and Max.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, how delightful. The guy, he wants to be the man. You show up to the ring, you show up to the arena, first of all, and you know, I'm the main event. I'm the guy.
Yeah, how do you not root for a guy like that? Come on, so easy to get in and follow a guy like that. And I love what he said at the top, talking about the weights. How was that in between rounds? I don't even remember anymore. Or before the fight started, talking about the weights. I didn't want to put on more weight for the fight. You see, he's a student of the game. Cited the prime fighting weights of Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and Evander Holyfield. Really what he's saying is it's better to come in at your best weight rather than to adjust the weight because of your opponent. Here he gave away over 100 pounds and didn't win the fight on points, won it by knockout, fighting where he felt comfortable. I'd love to see him on our air again.
And it was a great fight to watch. We've had some unreal fights going on this week. I don't know if it's a great fight, but Max, it gets your attention on Tuesday night fights. We